Hey guys!
Hi, Jess.
How was that? Was it good?
Why are you getting all personal?
What are you drinking? What is that, by the way?
This is pick every flower you've ever seen on the side of the road and dump it into some water.
Oh, dandelion? Is that dandelion water?
This is herbal water. It's lemongrass, mint, vanilla.
Yum.
And I'm the only one.
Can you lower that?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so let's get serious here for a second.
Okay.
There's a special on Oprah tonight with Lance Armstrong, tonight, Thursday. And it's going to be 2 parts. Now it's going to come out that he was doing not so great things while riding his bike, getting... What?
Let's just strip it down to the plain terms. She's right.
It's true. Not so great things.
I don't think he was doing the things while he was riding his bike, but okay.
Either way, how do you think the public is going to respond to him drugging?
I think what we found out from Oprah earlier in the week after she sat down with him, because she really sat down with him on Monday, was that he comes clean about what he did, but the response, according to Oprah, might not be what we're all expecting of how he either apologizes or doesn't for what he did.
How specific do you think he's going to get?
I think that what I think will end up happening is, with the way I interpreted Oprah's message was that he admits, but he doesn't beg anybody for forgiveness. And I think America expects this guy to beg and plead and get down on his hands and knees and ask for forgiveness. And I don't think Lance does that. Lance has been very defiant throughout this whole time. And he's obviously got a little bit of pride, but he wants to get the information out there. But he's not going to do it at the expense of humbling or showing any humility that goes beyond anybody's wildest expectations.
Yeah.
So I think as the public and grovel, he's not going to do that. So I think while he'll admit to doping, I think he'll also say, but you know what? I doped. I was a 7-time champion. 17 of the top 20 finishers in the Tour de France's that I won, they've all also too been accused of doping. And I also made $500 million, $500 million for cancer research with Livestrong. So he's going to say, I parlayed all this success into all this money. So I'm not begging anybody for your forgiveness, but just to let you know, I wasn't entirely truthful either.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And Oprah will get it out of him. But even Oprah said she doesn't, she alluded to exactly what Brian said.
And I think when it's all said and done, people will forgive him. Because he's a cyclist, and I don't think people are passionate about cyclists, but people are passionate about cancer research. And even though he cheated and he doped, he still did some other good things as well. It's a kind of a tricky story.
Mm-hmm.
It's another story in the news you guys talked about this morning with a sport people are probably more passionate about with Manti Te'o and the incredible story that came out. What do you guys have to say about that?
Wow.
This is the highest form of online dating hoax. There's a show on MTV that's called Catfish, and it really deals with all these people who have had online relationships and don't meet the person. And then finally, when they do meet up with them, they're not anything they expected. And this is on another, 10 times worse than what had happened. So the question really is was he part of a hoax? Did he get duped in online dating, or was he in on the entire duping that was done? It really is just an amazing story.
You mean to tell me that when a 34-year-old guy who's never been married ends up on your Match.com inbox, he doesn't really look like Channing Tatum? Wow.
It's not
a hard time believing that.
It's not to the simplest of degrees as that. I'm sorry. I mean, I've seen the show. It's very detailed, and these people who are doing the hoaxing or are duping the people into an online relationship are really intricate, and they go through a lot of hoops to make sure their story holds true. And that's the reason why we're kind of questioning the whole Manti Te'o case, because all he had to do was a simple Google search, and he would have found out that this woman didn't exist. So we're not sure if he was in on it for publicity or if he was really duped. And that's really the question. It's bizarre.
Now we're coming up on 5 minutes, so I have one more question for you. You talked earlier this week about Taylor Swift and her umpteenth amount of boyfriends in 4 or 5 years. Didn't you say you had something that would end that, Brian?
Oh yes. Oh gosh. You're gonna divulge this again. I
Yeah.
think this is horrible advice, but Brian thinks it'll work.
Well, it's a little thing that we like to call tough love. And if you're Taylor Swift's father, okay, and she's 23, she's a grown woman, rather than interview all of her boyfriends or potential boyfriends to make sure that they're not candidates for potentially breaking her heart, maybe what you need to do is have a conversation with Taylor and say, you know, Taylor, if you didn't go to sleep with a steel trap over your private parts, if you didn't go to sleep with a wool sweater and a bear trap down there that could catch Harry Styles and lop everything off, if you gave these guys what they wanted once in a while, they wouldn't leave you.
This is horrible.
No, it's not. This is good,
This is horrible.
practical,
Parenting
sound
advice.
Lose the steel trap up here and down here, and go get yourself a nice, long, committed relationship from a boy who's going to love you. And you love him.
Oh, are we
in
leaving them
return.
with that? Are we really going to leave them with that?
Yes, yes, we are. All right, well, bye. See you guys next week.
Drink this stuff, man. Crazy thoughts. Crazy thoughts. Lemongrass, mint vanilla.
Bye.